Hello everybody, we are here today with Maris Mosenko. She is our featured artist for the month of December. Hi Maris.
Hi everyone.
Thanks so much for coming out today.
Well, thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I am a new resident to Radium, so I moved here last summer, and I live part-time in Calgary, and I've been a plein air painter for about 20 years. So I've just been doing plein air painting, which means under the sky, kind of in plein air. And so you go outside, you bring all your gear, you set up on a nice scene, and you paint away.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about the philosophy behind plein air painting?
Well, I think different people may have different philosophies as to what it means to them, but for me personally, I like just getting outside and chasing the light in terms of trying to get a painting on a board and be outside. And it's kind of fast, responsive painting to your environment. The light changes quite quickly, and so it's kind of exciting in that way, where you're really just trying to not nitpick too much about the details and sit there and get every little line perfect. It's really about that kind of gut reaction and kind of just responding to your environment. And so I find that like a Sudoku puzzle, like a really fun challenge where you're just trying to see and respond to your environment. And then also too, there's an element of mindfulness and not taking yourself too seriously, because really you got to go out there and have fun and enjoy being out there. So that's kind of a little bit there about my philosophy and why I love it so much.
Nice. Natural light can be quite challenging to capture in paintings, especially you seem to work a little bit with smaller canvases. Can you give us some insight on how you capture that light so well, that natural light?
Well, I do work my this is a plein air easel right here, and it has everything that I need to be out in the field, but again, it takes 9 by 12 boards, and you can get ones with kind of a bit of a lip, but you can also get the flat panels, and you can fit 2 wet paintings in there. So if you're one forward, one back, and so really it's kind of my equipment that dictates kind of the size of it, because I like to be able to kind of pack everything in to the location where I'm painting, and then also to paint quickly. And so kind of to have a smaller surface like that, that's kind of what seems to work for me. I bring this backpack and this plein air easel, and this comes in a little pack too. And so basically that's kind of just everything that I need, and so you can't really have too big of a surface out there if you're into that kind of painting. You might be able to do some studies out. Some people, like some of my plein air friends, they kind of do little studies in the smaller ones out in the field, and then they take it back to the studio and kind of reinterpret it into a bigger painting. You know, so lots of different plein air painters paint differently, but for me, I'm a busy mom, and I also work, and so it's for me, it's just, okay, I want to get out, do some painting, have some fun, and I still have other things that I wish I could just paint all day, but it's not realistic. And so just keeping it small and doable and achievable works for me.
So you usually finish the painting out in the field then?
Yeah, and so what I'll do is I'll either plan ahead. Sometimes I take a whole week where I'm just painting, and I'll do a morning painting and an afternoon painting.
Oh, wow.
And so the light kind of matters, because if, say, I'm on one side of the river in the morning, the light's going to be on one side of the river. Once you start getting to about noon or 1 o'clock, it could be on the other side, and then your painting is completely different, because really a big part of the composition in your painting are the shadows. And so when you're capturing the light, it's not just about painting the tree, it's really about capturing the shadow around the tree and all that. The shadows are really what it's about. And so, you really have to be conscientious of what direction your light is coming from for morning or afternoon. And so you can get more consistent pockets of light if you say in the summer and know the hours of the sun rising and setting. In the winter, it's kind of too cold to paint out in plein air. But say you get out for an 8 o'clock painting in the morning, and then you can paint till about noon, and then your light starts to change. You're really chasing the light by noon. Right. You should be done, and then just leave it, or you'll overpaint and overwork your painting. And then I have lunch and wait for it to the high noon light to kind of go away before I start another one around 1 or 2 p.m. And that's kind of, and then I have till about 5 or 6. And then you can do a night painting at the high summer, when it starts to stay light till 11. That's if I have a lot of energy. And, you can just make your choices that way based on the lighting conditions for the season. And so I am a fair weather painter. I like to paint, when it's nice. I have painted out in snow before and stuff, and it's pretty cold. And I have painted in rain and hid under trees, but just out of necessity, because I was painting, say, with friends, and you only get to see each other for these 2 days, and it happens to be raining, and you're like, okay, let's just go out.
Make it happen.
Let's just go and do it anyway. But it's actually surprising how much refuge you can find from the rain under a tree. They're like, it's like an umbrella. I was completely dry, and it was like pouring rain.
Nice. Did you have your hat too?
Oh, this is my, every plein air artist has a good hat. And, it kind of, I don't like wearing sunglasses when I paint because it changes the colors and everything that you see. And so having that kind of protection from the elements is another thing that you have to sort of be aware of. So, I bring a bear spray, sunscreen, snacks, and everything fits in here. And so even I'm an oil painter, so even my spirits there, and all my paints are inside this box. Okay. And it's just like a little studio out in nature. And so when I move that like that, all my paints are inside there. Okay. And different painters have different preferences for the kinds of plein air boxes that they like. And I like this one because it's durable, and if I'm going on an airplane and painting somewhere, because I'll take it down to Mexico with me, or BC or Vancouver, and do painting there as well. So this travels well, and it's durable. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Can you give me an idea of how you identify which subjects you're going to paint when you go out there? Do you use like a viewfinder or a little thumbnail sketch? Or it's funny how when I was younger, I started the first plein air trip I ever went on, I was about 18 or 19 years old. And it was kind of at the beginning of kind of doing this as kind of a fun hobby or practice. And I used to spend an hour trying to figure out what am I going to paint. It has to be a good composition already presented to me. But really, I've done some reading and from different artists that have been inspired by, and say Group of Seven, Lauren Harris, J.H. McDonald, like those painters, and hearing about their philosophy and how they pick spots. And some of the quotes I think that McDonald said is, make sure you're comfortable, and then you can paint anything. And actually that has worked well. And it's just like, make sure either if you're standing or sitting, because sometimes like I'll be like, if I'm hiking in for a kilometer or two, I might be tired and be like, you know what, today is a low energy day, I think I'm gonna sit and paint. Nice. And so that's kind of why I bring this little roll with me too, that's kind of to my bag, because I can just sit, and then my butt is comfortable, and then I perch up my little box there, and then as soon as I'm comfortable, it's amazing the kinds of things that you see. Such a simple concept.
Yeah, and actually it's like the whole idea is to just be out there, be comfortable, enjoy yourself, feel positive, and enjoy mucking around, mixing colors, and just having fun with the painting and the environment. And so really I've come to embrace that, and you start to be able to see the beauty in anything, really. And so I think that has been a gift that Plein Air has really taught me about life metaphorically in general. Just kind of, sit in the spot that you are, make yourself as comfortable as possible, and then see the beauty in it.
That's so fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming out today and being here. And we've loved having your art up in our gallery. It's been wonderful.
Well, thank you, Kate. And it's been a pleasure kind of working with you guys. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, we can't wait to work with you lots more in the future.
Thank you.